In this video, I'm going to explain some ways in which you can use practice search to clean up your panel. So I'm going to give you a few different examples here. Generally, whenever you start a practice search, you're going to want to name it. Although in this particular instance and in this video, I'm going to show you a few different ways. But if you were to name it, panel cleanup, and don't forget to click off search all patients at the top. Okay. One of the things that you could do, for example, is to clean up any patients in your panel who are, let's say, over 100 years old. And sometimes patients are deceased and we don't always know that that has happened, and so they stay in the system and we just know that they don't come back. So in this particular case, we're going to search for any patients who are over the age of 100 years old. So we're going to select the age filter here, and we want anybody who is greater than 100 years. And if you have multiple physicians, you can actually go into your demographics and add your primary provider. You can do this for one doctor at a time and select this doctor. However, if you wish to, you could remove this altogether, and just running this search alone would search all the patients you have in your database, meaning for all the patients attached to any of the physicians in your clinic. So if you click search, this gives us a list of a number of people, 14 people in the system who are greater than 100 years old. So these are some potential patients that may need a change to their status. Okay, another one you could possibly choose is, and I'm just going to unclick that again. Another search you could possibly run would be a list of patients who were assigned to a physician that has since left the practice. So in this particular case, what you could do is go under demographics here, starting with a fresh slate, select primary MD, and then in the drop down, you'll often have some inactive physicians down here in the bottom of your list. So if you select that physician, and we're assuming this physician has left the practice, then you can search anybody who still has themselves attached to this particular physician. So if you click search, we have nobody there, okay, which is a great sign. If there was a number of people on this list, then you would want to go through them one at a time and either do a bulk action and make them all inactive, or just go into their chart and make a note that this patient may have transferred to another clinic. Sorry, Barbara, I'm just looking at my notes here. Another search that you can run would be possibly looking at patients who haven't been to the clinic in greater than 3 years. Most clinics consider their panel of patients to be anybody who has seen their physician within those 3 years. And so every so often, maybe once every 6 months or every year, this is a routine search that you can do for your panel. So for that one, starting from a clean slate here, under demographics, you could choose this for a particular physician, because you can clean them up one physician at a time if you wish. Again, if you leave this filter off, you will be running a list for the entire practice, so that may have multiple physicians in it. The next one you want to select here is their last visit. And you want to say, exclude the matches here turns this filter into a not statement. So you may say, a list of all my patients who have not had a last visit here in the last 3 years. Now, if we run that list, We're going to get quite a few. On this particular one, we have 370. And so there are a number of patients here you can exclude. Also, not a bad thing to keep in mind, you may want to add a column here for the date they were verified, because some of these patients, even though they haven't been seen in quite some time, we have verified them recently, and so we do want to keep them on the panel. And those are just a couple of ways that you can actually use the practice search to clean up your panel.